Hello, hello, hello. This is Woo. I'm back with another quick video. I hope everyone is doing well. The inauguration just happened. Trump has signed at least, I think, almost 200 executive orders. He's on a rampage to make America great again, Um, he has brought back TikTok. I've never been a big fan of TikTok. I had one, but after the whole debacle, I deleted it, and I preferably to not to bring it back. But according to a lot of people on social media, the Great White Hope has brought YouTube back, but not YouTube, but what you call it, TikTok back. So now people are some are sold on Donald Trump, but I still think I don't even want to get into it. But what I wanted to talk about, just surfing through, social media, it's an everyday thing now. And I came across a video about adoption, and specifically adoption in the U.S. So when we think about adoption, we think about foster care, right? We think about it's children in these homes and they don't have anywhere to go, and couples and maybe even single people that's seeking to raise children, they go and get these kids out of homes, and they take care of them, and it's at no cost, because you're doing a service as for raising up these children that don't have anywhere to go, and these babies, to have a better living. But I recently seen that not only is that sort of not true, but I'm seeing that here in the U.S. of A, that they're having actual children auctions of specifically older children. I would say maybe 6 or above, that has not yet to have been adopted or maybe returned by the adoptive parents, which is horrible to even think about. Imagine what that does to a psyche of a child to get their forever home and then be sent back, and to only be auctioned out in hopes to be, basically rescued and have a safe haven eventually to a home. But no, they have private sectors of adoption agencies that seek out basically pregnant women that, don't necessarily want their children, but don't want to go through the process of maybe abortions or things of that case. But so I seen a recent video of a guy specifically highlighting a adoption agency called Everlasting. And what was interesting, adoption agency is an adoption agency. They, you have the ability to have a private sector if you have the money and the ability and the knowledge to do it, right? But no, this agency had a pamphlet breakdown after you submit your application of interest of adoption. And I guess someone, submitted the paperwork, but they were really submitting it to expose really what this adoption agency was about. And they had basically a breakdown of pricing, ethnicity, and sex of these babies that could be potentially adopted. Now, these are not older children. These are newborns that are coming into this world that are specifically adopted by parents that want, I would guess, newborns. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to start off with a video that really disturbed me of children, older children in particular, that are looking for forever. I hate to say forever homes, because when you think of forever homes, they use that same moniker for like adopting pets. They say that for, if you go and adopt a dog or a pet, a forever home. I don't know, that just bothered me to say that, but that is the reference that they use to also adopt children. So I'm going to bring up this clip first of these older children trying to find homes, which is, it's so sad. You have to really think about where you came from and the blessings that you have to be able to grow up in a home with two parents or even one parent that is loving and that is willing to take care of you. That's why you have to be so grateful for the things that you do have. So we're going to bring up this clip right now before we get into the other clip that's talking about basically adoptions. So let me bring this up, and then I'm going to, let me go back. I'm going to, let's see, okay, it's up. So I'm going to unmute it, and then we're going to play it. Here we go.
Alicia is a very special and very sweet young lady who is looking for her forever family. She describes herself.
It's a parade like no other. Abandoned children desperately selling themselves to win over a new family, a new start.
She also likes drawing and doing arts and crafts.
And in the audience, sizing them up to find a perfect match, are their potential parents.
Okay, Michaela, you look so cute.
It is distressing, tragic, and completely legal. Here in the US, it's a phenomenon known as rehoming, where, along with matching events, troubled kids are advertised like goods on eBay and given to anyone who'll take them. Mostly they're adopted and often wear the scars of abuse and neglect. Most disturbingly, their parents have decided they no longer want them.
Desperate people do stupid things and desperate things. There should be legal structures and social structures and professionals who know what the hell they're doing around all of this. If we don't protect vulnerable children, who do we protect?
So there you have it. That's the first clip. And just, that pulled at my heart to watch those children walk down the aisle like there's some kind of chattel or this is some kind of car auction where you're trying to, sell yourself to people in order to take care of you. And it really bothered me to see that. I didn't even know that would be going on, especially here in America. I feel sorry for these children because a lot of these children, being that they're older, they will never find a proper home. And just to imagine what these children has been through with probably being through multiple homes, the trauma of going back and forth to their forever home, to back to the foster care, not feeling wanted, not wondering why their biological parents wasn't equipped to take care of them. It's just a lot on the mental. And I was highly surprised, disgusted, and just overall disgusted. And the fact that something like this would be going on. I had no clue. I was like, where the hell have I been? I had no clue about this. I didn't know that they had actual programs where people are walking, children are walking down the aisles in hopes that somebody would measure them up, which is weird to me. Measure them up and like them enough to bring them to their home and take care of them. I mean, why do you have to walk down the aisle in order to be adopted by a family? Why do you have to go through that type of, I would say, exploitation, humiliation in order to be taken care of? I don't even see how this is morally right, and how do these people feel comfortable with doing it? I mean, you got people clapping. You got the lady right here doing the bidding, I guess setting out the price. I don't know what the hell is going on. You got this weird guy smiling and laughing, holding his leg. You have this little girl right here bowing. You have her smiling, probably in hopes to get a home. She's probably crying every night, hoping someone would take her home. You got this lady happy, clapping. I don't know what the hell she's clapping about. Got them taking pictures. What the hell are you taking pictures for? What are you taking pictures for? To size them up? It's the weirdest thing I ever seen. I could not believe what I was watching when I came across this, but this is a real story. This was on 60 Minutes, and you can Google it and look it up. It's terrifying to me. I could not believe what I was watching. It blew me away when I first seen this. But let's get into the second part. So another thing that blew me away is the adoption agency. And this particular adoption agency is where you can adopt children, but specifically babies, newborns. These are coming from mothers that came from maybe hardship, mothers that came from maybe where the father wasn't there. You know, he stepped out before the baby even came. Most likely, I would say young mothers that got pregnant early, 16, 15, 14, teen moms. And they got into a situation where they knew that they were not equipped to be a mom, so they decided to go through the adoption agency, or maybe their parents made them. But the breakdown of this specific agency, which is called Everlasting Adoption, and its other ones, how they market their adoption agency and how they market specific newborn babies and how to basically, I would say, sell them. This is another way of child, I see it as a legal way of child trap. I don't want to say the full word because YouTube is very tight-lipped, but child T in a legal way. But I'm going to play this clip of a guy that deep dived into this situation. And it's pretty interesting to see that about things that's happening right under our noses that we have no idea about. So let's see. I'm going to remove this. It's really, I was like, where have I been? Because let me see. Let me remove this. Present. So I'm going to remove. And I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to share this next clip that really also blew me away. I'm going to share it, and here we go.
I never listen. So we're going to start with this one, Everlasting Adoptions, where you can see they have a conventional program where they sell whites. And if you don't have enough money for them, because, they're kind of expensive up here, they start off at $16,000. They have the Everlasting African American program, where you can buy a discounted baby. But I'm sure it can't get worse, right? Some agencies will offer you this handy-dandy available adoption situations chart, and it will literally let you know by the cost. If you pay attention, the black babies cost hella less. And if you can't afford adoption, no problem. We got you covered. For National Adoption Month, you'll get $500 off your second payment, and most of these agencies are now accepting Affirm and extended payment processes. Interest-free. And if you have bad credit or no credit, no big deal. We always suggest that you can have a huge garage sale for your adoption cost, like these folks have done here. Or if you're not thrifty, you can just fundraise your adoption for $50,000 or $20,000. They don't care how you get the money as long as you're paying for these children.
Imagine that you can get a newborn baby on credit. A newborn baby on credit. Imagine that. And I want to play this clip over again because it just blew me away. I'm going to play it over again.
I never listen. So we're going to start with this one, Everlasting Adoptions, where you can see they have a conventional program where they sell whites. And if you don't have enough money for them, because, they're kind of expensive up here, they start off at $16,000. They have the Everlasting African American program, where you can buy a discounted baby. But I'm sure it can't get worse, right? Some agencies will offer you this handy-dandy available adoption situations chart, and it will literally let you know by the cost. If you pay attention, the black babies cost hella less. And if you can't afford adoption, no problem. We got you covered. For National Adoption Month, you'll get $500 off your second payment, and most of these agencies are now accepting Affirm and extended payment processes. Interest-free. And if you have bad credit or no credit, no big deal. We always suggest that you can have a huge garage sale for your adoption cost, like these folks have done here. Or if you're not thrifty, you can just fundraise your adoption for $50,000 or $20,000. They don't care how you get the money as long as you're paying for these children.
So there you have it. You know, they out here selling children. You can go by the race. Black children are at the lowest, and I think the biracials is in the middle. I mean, it's a weird phenomenon that's going on, and this has been going on, and this doesn't sit right with me. But it's another clip I want to bring up of a guy bringing this to the forefront about this situation. And I actually went on the Everlasting Adoption website, and it doesn't have the breakdown specifically on lines. I think you have to put in the application. It has an application portal, and I'm pretty sure that's how you get the brochure, and that's how it got out. But this other clip I want to bring up of another guy bringing up the same thing. So I'm going to bring that up, and I'm going to play. No, that is, oh, hold on 1 second. That's not it. Let me bring up the other clip. Let's see. But yeah, it's, you know, auctioning children, selling children for thousands of dollars, $16,000, $22,000. I had no idea, I had no idea that something like this was going on. This is news to me. And I know people come into situations where they have to adopt children. I'm not judging, because I know that people have
this is why it's really cool.
Biological issues and things like that. People have biological issues. People, it's situations that people come into where it's unfortunate, but they can't have children on their own, and they choose to adopt. But the way that this specific company goes, and how they go by the pricing of the child, and the race, and the admixtures of the child, it's barbaric to me. It's kind of like if you trying to buy a puppy, you get that purebred. The purebred of a poodle is so many dollars, and then you might get that mixed breed, or you might get the one that's mixed with a little bit of everything, and that's at a lower price. It's weird. It's kind of like, that's how, to me, I feel like that's not how children should be adopted. But apparently this is a thing, and this is a lucrative business that's kind of like under the rug, and a lot of people don't know about unless you have to be in that situation to know about. But this is the second clip I want to play, and then we'll be heading out of here. Let's see. So I'm going to push it back to the beginning, and here we go.
This is why it's really cool that some adoption agencies actually, break down their costs, like Everlasting Adoptions here. You'll notice that the legal services, what you're talking about, the administration fees and legal services, that's identical between the three different packages that they offered. But notice that the prices differ, and that's because of things like race and gender. And, specifically, they charge more for white babies than black or biracial babies. So yeah, some of it is the legal and administration fees, but there's a lot more to it than just that. This is why it's really cool that some adoption agencies actually, break down their costs, like Everlasting Adoptions here. You'll notice that the legal services, what you're talking about, the administration fees and legal services, that's identical between.
So, if you guys can see the screen, you have specifically at the top, the Everlasting program. I guess that's the purebred Caucasian program. A child adoption is for a baby is about $16,000 for that child. For a conventional program, it's that's considered the biracial program. That's about $14,800 for the full African American program. They call this a program when these are actual babies. These are children that are being born into this world, but they call it a program. The full African American program is $10,000. So you go for the pure white, 16.9. You go for the biracial, 14.8. You go for the full African American, $10,000. I don't know about y'all, but this is hella I would say disrespectful, and it's out of touch. But this is a lucrative business. It's a real business. They have a real website. It's called Everlasting Adoptions. I will suggest you guys do the research and look for yourselves. This is a real website. The only way you can get, I'm guessing you can get these pricings is if you do the application, and they will send you the brochure with the breakdown. But this is 100% real. They got a pricing on race and gender, also gender as well. And it's insane to see. And this is real. This is a very real thing. You know, we're in the current times right now of MAGA. You know, a lot of people like to dismiss racism, say that it's not real. Being woke is a problem and a detriment to America. But this shows you that race is a very huge thing here in America. You got newborn babies that haven't even had a chance being basically auctioned off solely by their race first and their gender second. And I see that as a huge problem. I said it's a huge problem. It's disgusting to me. You have older children that only want to be taken care of, loved, and respected, being walked down an aisle like this is a goddamn auction in order to get a home and be taken care of properly. It's a problem. But yeah, this is Woo. I just wanted to get into this real quick. This is something that bothered me. And, you know, leave your comment in the comment box. But that's all I had to say. I'm out. Have a good evening.